Peace and blessings, and welcome back to the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. On this episode, we have a woman that not only stands for the people, she stands for the culture, which makes the people's voices heard. We are talking to Ladi Miz, an MC that not only accepts her role as a mother in the hip hop community, but accepts her role as an activist, a warrior, and a confidant to all those who are looking to be made great when it comes to this hip-hop culture and making their names known. This is a great interview. Before we get to that interview, we want to shout out our sponsor. If you're having financial difficulties and the stimulus check is not enough, please contact Transparent Credit Repair, the superheroes of the financial literacy world. Not only do they help you get debt off your back, but through financial literacy, they teach you about money and how to take care of yourself and your future goals, be it family, career, education, ownership, etc. If you want to learn more, you're looking to learn more, please contact Transparent Credit Repair at www.transparentcreditrepair.com. Use Heritage Hip Hop as your referral and you may get something special. If you want to call them on the phone, the number is 862-250-5122. Once again, that's 862-250-5122. Tell them Heritage Hip Hop sent you. Now, we're going to get into this great interview with Ladi Miz, and after the interview is over, I will come back with my commentary.
Peace and blessings, everybody. This is Perez, and welcome back to the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. COVID-19 has been a real killer. We want to say rest in peace to Fred, the godson. And unfortunately, life has been taken, but new music has arisen, and we've learned about new artists. And I have one of those great artists on the line right now. Please introduce yourself to the people.
What's up, everybody? My name is Ladi Miz from the 845 upstate New York.
All right, and it's a pleasure to get to talk to you, and I want to say congratulations on being not the norm. How does that sound to you?
It sounds good because I definitely like to be different, stay in my own lane, and stand out rather than fit in. So that's a great thing.
What part of upstate New York are you?
Right now, I'm in Middletown. I've been up here for about 13 years.
Mm-hmm. And you've always been from up that way?
No. Well, I moved from Rockland, but I'm originally from Philly.
Okay. So you're East Coast bred hip-hop no matter what. And,
all day.
and the dynamic of a Philly to New York is very subtle, but yet it relies on bars. Tell me about bars and what does bars mean to Ladi Miz?
For me, I think that bars is pretty much how you feel. I'm not one to be so critical and judgmental, and I know a lot of people want everything to be so hard all the time, but I like stories. Like I consider myself, if really staying in my lane, to be more of a storyteller. So I think that when it comes to bars, I feel that expressing yourself in any way, no matter what it is that's what bars is about. That's what it is to me. So if that's like music is an art, it's a form of expression. So that's the way, if that's how people want to express themselves, then that's what it is. So it's based off of how that person feels.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I agree with you. Everything doesn't have to be so bar heavy, because sometimes you just want to shake around and have a little bit of fun. But
right.
You should never sacrifice the message just for twerking. I mean, look, I'm from Jersey. When you put on Alias Follow Me, everybody going to dance, but you still got that message, we must stop fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, we're going to endure. And no matter what your age or demographic, sometimes you have to sit down, and then the words hit you.
Yes.
Who are some of the storytellers that help influence you? It could be musically or not, but who are some of the storytellers who influenced you to have a concept and then follow your concept through to the end?
Well, the first person that always comes to mind for me is Rakim.
Okay.
I've always, for me, like some people, you know, they'll say, well, you know, he's just rapping it. But to me, I paid attention to what he was saying because it was about the message. Big Daddy Kane was another one. MC Light, Queen Latifah, Eve, Lauryn Hill. Yeah, so, I mean, you know, Will Smith, if you want to even take it from rap to television or just basically being successful and keep moving forward. There's so many different people that fall under that category that I feel influence me. And at the end of the day, the way I look at it is like this. Everybody has their own lane. They have their own style. And for me, I just follow through on what I want to do, and that's it.
I love that because when you listen to your music, you have a stern elegance on the microphone. You're not you're not preachy. You're not let's just say traditional or let's say typical mainstream. You are a pure artist. And I thank you for sharing that. And I wanted to ask, no problem. And I wanted to ask you, how do you, see, the thing about society with me is that society tries its best to either hamper or define feminism or womanhood. How do you use your womanhood to define hip-hop and not let it define you?
Well, for me, I just basically focus on doing what I love. I try not to get so wrapped up in the need of fitting in and twerking and have to talk sexually or take off my clothes to be noticed as a female artist. So I try to spread it all across the board where I show that I could be versatile, where I could be a storyteller, but I could also come hard. I also have songs that are sexy but not too explicit. And what I mean by that is I'm still a woman at the end of the day. I'm still feminine and I still want to be sexy, but I still have a level of respect and morals that I carry with that. So that's what I bring, and that is how I define myself, is staying in my lane and not jumping out the window just to fit in, because that is what is common today in society. So it's honestly difficult to do that, because when everyone sees, okay, this is what it takes for you to get noticed, and when you're not doing that, you got to fight against, okay, wow, you know, are they going to notice me because I'm not doing this? You know what I mean? So I do what I love. So at the end of the day, as long as I'm doing what I love, none of that other stuff matters, because I feel like it's going to pay off anyway.
Yeah, the payoff shows in your direction, because as you said, if I ever detected a sense of phoniness in the artist, I could pinpoint your music to say the famous lines, you know, Biggie Smalls, like, I don't feel that hardcore you singing, maybe I'm dreaming, or Jay Electronica, it's not familiar, I don't feel you. I understand that with you because you got songs like One and Only. Tell me about One and Only, and let's talk to the people about what you said and how you prove it in that song.
One and Only was actually the first song that I did when I decided to get back into doing the music. And that was that song is based on a relationship. It's about, you know, a woman that is into a guy. She thought that she was his one and only, but he was cheating on her. You know, when she had to make some sacrifices, or she had to make some changes to move on, to stand in her truth and put herself first and know what self-love is about. So that's pretty much what that song is. It's about a lot of what a lot of people go through in today's time, you know?
And to be honest about understanding the joy of your music is this. We define ourselves and put ourselves in a box so often that we sacrifice the art to make a trend. I love the fact that you live your art and don't let your art live you. You know what I mean? You have a song called Woke Prisoner that I love.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you can't come on Heritage Hip Hop, but we don't listen to the music now. That would be that would be horrible.
Listen. No, I'm impressed because you know what's so funny? Most people don't even ask about one and only. Like, they only just focus on like the 2 songs that I have out, you know, telling my story or I'm still here, but they don't really go back to that. So sometimes I wonder if the people that are talking to me, if they know really what I'm about, because if I present those 2 songs, they might think that I'm just a rapper who's just rapping, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you do got to just do that and have fun, but they don't understand that I'm also a conscious rapper, but I don't want to put myself in that box. But yes,
Right.
I can bring a message, I can be sexy with it, I can have a song for the ladies, and I can turn up, you know what I mean? So yeah, Go Prisoner.
That's my joint.
That's one of my favorites too.
yeah. And I mean, like talk about it. Like, what was the direction that made you want to say, you know what? Everybody can twerk and shake their ass, but I'm gonna bring back the spirit of ladies first and that thing, and you know, Mother Superior and all them. Tell us about how that song came about.
Well, honestly, I was on a what do you call when you call in and you can listen? There was
Like a DJ's conference call?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just some type of conference call, but it was Dr. Boyce Watkins. I don't know if you follow him or know who that is, but
yes, I do.
I was on so I was on a call with Boyce Watkins, and him and I believe Dame Dash and somebody else was on there, and I was listening to what they were talking about, and I just was like, you know what? A lot of stuff that he was saying, I feel as a black woman, you know, that lives in America, a lot of the things that we endure and what we go through, I just felt like, you know what? He was saying, you know, he has a thing about rappers, even though I know, like, you know, he worked with some, like, Young M.A. and all of that stuff, but he has this thing where he's like, nobody listens to people who's really trying to uplift the community, and all they rap about is drugs and guns and call each other bitches and niggas all day and this and that, and they, you know, it's destroying our community. And I'm like, damn, I was on the line as a person who raps, and I was like, yo, I get it, you know what I mean, what he's saying, but that's not true. We don't all talk about that. Sometimes people just speak about what, but at one point I used to when I was younger, because that's all I really knew. So I'm talking about only what I was exposed to, but now that I'm in a different place now, in a different state of mind, I can now bring forth different materials and a different message in my music, and still come hard with it too. So I figured, you know what, let me drop some knowledge or whatever, but still make it where people could think, oh, this shit is hard, you know what I mean? But I got a message with that. So I got to grab the attention with the message. And for me, it was just about really just showing, like, look, all rappers are not just talking about shaking their ass and giving blowjobs. You know what I'm saying? As for a female, there are some females out here that really care about the music, care about the craft. We like to have fun to turn up too, but we also have a message.
Facts. And I mean, I'm gonna change the interview, because I don't really want to keep it on just music. I really want to know about the mind that's within the woman that I'm talking to. You see what I'm saying? And I always say this to all the women that do hip hop, you know, or do some type of music that's community driven. Some women tell me they don't like the term femc. They just want to be known as MCs, and I get it, because you want to be just one of the people who participates in the culture. But the culture has a lot of participants and not a lot of artists. Do you agree, and how do you feel about that?
I think that right now it has a lot of participants and not a lot of artists. And the reason that I say that is because in today's time, the industry has changed, because people are more focused on what your social media and numbers look like, rather than the actual artist and the talent that the artist brings forth. So I personally don't like that, but I would rather be called an artist first, even before a rapper and an MC. To be honest with you, I would rather be an artist. And the reason I say that is because it is art. When I'm sitting here, and if I work with a producer who also produces art, they bring the beat, or they have the beat, I listen to it, and when I'm listening to a track, I have a vision. Like, it's like the music talks to me, I hear and I feel something, and then I continue to create to that beat. So it's art, just like someone is painting a picture. So you're going to have all different types of pictures, where somebody might have a beautiful, you know, like a detailed picture, and another picture might just be colors. But the colors can still tell a story based on where you put it and how it blends with everything around it. So that's how I look at my music. I look at it as art. That's why I really don't honestly, I'm at a point now where I actually had to learn to separate myself from being a judgmental person, because at one point, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, I'm not with this mumble bap, I'm not with this new shit, I just want boom bap all day, real hip hop, blah, blah, blah. That's how I was talking, but then I had to say, wait, hold up. You gotta respect someone else's hustle, and you gotta respect their art. Now, if they made it, that means that somebody likes it and someone is listening. So who am I to judge anybody else?
You know what? I'm glad you said that, because back in the day when people came out in the industry, which is a dead industry now, because I don't understand why people still follow it, but when people came out in the industry, they had A&Rs, and they had like people who would like work with the artists to help them find their look and find their sound, package them, and then bring them out. Because of social media and the internet, we're looking at artists develop in real time. And a lot of people don't understand that. So it's not like you're judging a complete package. It's like, what's your favorite food, Lady Miz? May I ask?
Collard greens.
It's not like I gave you, like today's music is the collard green. Now some may like it raw, some may like hip hop. I like it raw beats, or some may like it prepared. Some may like it with vinegar, some may like it with hot sauce. If I gave you the meal while it was prepared, you're like, you still gotta add, you still gotta add, you still gotta add. I think that's where we get the judgmental part mixed from the experience. And that's where we kill ourselves and not let the art be art. How do you feel about that expression?
Honestly, I agree 100% with what you're saying. You do watch artists in real time develop. The only thing that I do not like, and this is just my opinion, is the fact that there are people who don't care about the art and they just want attention, so they'll do anything for numbers. And sometimes you got people who are not leaders and are followers that will follow behind that and put themselves in bad situations. And this is how a lot of people get hurt. This is how a lot of people, like I said, die over drug overdose. There's so many different things that happen because people are trying to fit in. And I believe that is it's an issue when it comes to the music, because again, bringing it back to watching the artist develop. Sometimes you're looking at people who they'll do anything just to get noticed, just so people can tune in. And that's why you got a lot of people, not to go off topic, but you got a lot of people that'll be in the street and they'll rather record somebody getting hurt, beat up, or whatever, and they won't even take the time to help them because they know, if you listen, because I ain't gonna lie, I watch those videos, I probably shouldn't, because my husband here say, stop watching that shit. But I'm like, yo, I can't believe this shit is happening. But when you look at the people recording, I listen to the person behind the phone or whatever, and all they're saying is, it's mad people tune in. Oh, my live is crazy right now. You see? So that's all they really care about, the attention that they're getting. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody wants attention, right? We all do. Let's just cut to the chase. But it's on a different level. So I do my music. I want to be noticed for my music as an artist, for my craft. Right? I understand that some people are going to like it and some people are going to hate it. I get it. It's a part of the game. We might have different perspectives on who we think is the dopest rapper, right? That doesn't mean that one is less than the other. It just means that you think that one is doper and I think the other one, because we're two different people with two different opinions.
Facts. Well, let's talk about Lady Miz and what makes her dope. Like I said, you have a lot of dichotomies to your style, and I want to go into one album that you put out not too long ago called Freedom of Expression. And we talk about art, and I want to ask you if the cover art for the album or project is purposeful, because it's blue and being called Freedom of Expression, and freedom is in black, expression is the word that's in white, and over your mouth you have black tape, and freedom and the tape covering the mouth is the same color. Tell me about Freedom of Expression's cover art and what you wanted to do with that album.
Freedom of expression. I just gotta say, you really got some good details there. I'm really impressed. That you
Well,
seriously.
well, Heritage Hip Hop loves hip hop, and we take the time to appreciate the artist as well. So I'm glad you're happy.
Yes, I appreciate that a lot. Believe me. Well, freedom of expression. The black tape it does represent something, just like the black words, honestly. And it was more of me being able to speak my truth, say my feelings, and say whatever I feel, and not allow people to censor me or shut me up. I should have the freedom as a woman and as a black woman to say and feel how I want, although they do try to censor us. So that's what the tape is there for. And you see me trying to rip the tape off because I have something to say. And I don't want nobody to stop me from saying it.
And on this album, I mean, like, you really let it out. You were talking about love. You were talking about being heard. You were talking about, let's have some fun, but let's not lose perspective. And one of my songs, I like Free. I like Woke Prisoner. Wait a minute, let me look, because I'm going to make sure I hit everything and I don't mess up. Excuse me for a second. I like Free. I like Woke Prisoner, and what's my last one? Stop the Hatred. Another track was very meaningful. And you can tell by the music that I'm picking out, I love messages. And one thing about me, I love stories. Everybody can tell me something, but a good story or a good narrative is something that you can walk away with something. Why was it important for you to give somebody something to walk away from?
It was important for me to do that because, again, I feel like in today's time, we are losing our morals to what is important. We're losing the morals to the culture. They think that in order for us to be successful, we have to put ourselves out there like we're a bunch of ignorant people that only like gold chains and cars, jewelry and liquor and twerking. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? Even though you can like those things.
I like twerking, I ain't gonna lie. It's all good.
I can't say you don't make me laugh. You know, that's what I'm saying. People, listen, I'm not going to sit here and act like an angel, because it's not like I'm an angel, but I just wanted people to know, like, you know what? There's still a message in hip hop. And you can book people like us at your venues and not have a problem, you know, because I was having that issue when I first started getting back into it, where I was, you know, trying to book different places at different places, and some places was telling me that they don't want hip hop in their venue. That was totally disappointing to me, but I ain't gonna lie, I had to sit back and say, why the hell are they saying this? And then I started really paying attention, and then I said, oh, okay, all right, I get it. You know what I mean? I get it to a certain degree. So I said, look, I got other songs that don't represent that bring people together, but it all depends on who you are now if you're going to like it. Because some people might not like the message depending on who they are.
Yeah, that's true. But see, here's the thing when it comes to women in hip-hop. And when I say that, everybody's like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I say women first. But I'm glad I got their attention, because the power of a woman is very understated and underappreciated in society as a whole, especially in Western society. Because in Western society, the teachings were, my woman stays at home, she's barefoot, she's pregnant, she makes the meal, I cook the water buffalo, she better make me a steak. In Eastern philosophy, it was always, the woman does not walk behind me, she walks off to my side. Because while a man has tunnel vision, a woman has the perception to survey the land and keep her man and family safe. And in the beginnings of hip-hop, we always hear about Kool Herc, but it was the women that brought the men to the jam. And in Wild Style, we had MCWD and us girls getting busy too, to the point where the first successful label was Sugar Hill and Sylvia Robinson. So women have always not only helped build the foundation and put the brick and the mortar down to the culture, they unceremoniously get bashed by the power structure of the culture. What do you think is one of the most underappreciated gifts as a woman you bring to the culture that people may not understand?
You talking me in general or just women? What? I just want to make sure I understand the question.
How about you take both? Let me hear what you think.
Okay. So if I'm answering this right, because I just want to make sure.
There's no wrong answer. Just go ahead.
I feel like women are unappreciated and not taken as serious as men when it comes to the industry. However, there are so many talented women on all different levels in this industry. For me, ask it again because I just want to make sure. I'm sorry. Just ask.
I'll break it up. I'll break it up into two questions. Let's start with you as an individual first. What do you bring to hip hop? The culture, not only the music, but the culture that as a woman you may not be giving your credit for, that you're underappreciated when it comes to you doing it.
I think that I'm not appreciated for the fact that I just want to be me. I think just being you in this industry is a hard thing to do because there's always somebody saying, you should do it like this. You should do it like that. They did it like this and they did it like that. And now they're trying to make you follow in somebody else's footsteps where what somebody else might have did might not work for me. I got to do what works for me. So for me, it's about standing in my truth and being who I am and not allowing anyone to take me away from that because then I'll become unrecognizable to myself.
Self-perseverance you're talking about.
Yes.
So then, apart from you, what do women bring or do in the hip-hop culture that is underestimated?
I think bars, period. I think that people look more for the sexual stuff from women than their actual lyrics and words. So I think that a lot of women are underestimated or devalued more when it comes to their talent and their lyrics. It's more about, let me see what your ass looks like. Let me see what you're doing. Let me look at that. Instead of like, hold up, let me hear, what this person is saying or how's their delivery or whatever, like stuff like that. That's what I believe when it comes to the females in the game. And like I said, it's so many. I'm on social media. When I scroll through there, I see so many talented women out there doing their thing. And I be wondering like, damn, what is it? What is it that certain people don't get their foot in the door?
Oh, we got the answers. I got a lot of answers for that question. Believe me, I do. Yeah. But even with that question,
I want to hear them.
We'll leave that in context for another interview. But to give somebody a little tease of why I think that happens. One, because either the person who's in charge wants them for their usage, not for their value, which means either they can own them or they can't. And secondly, because the media outlets that they have are not being used. And lastly, if you don't invest in self, then who should invest in you? But that's just an overview. We'll leave that for the people who are to catch up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
But in being yourself, you give yourself to be a person who has something to say that needs to be heard. But you also give yourself, let me get prepared now, because I want to say this right. You also give yourself to be a damn beast on the mic when you put on your Elegant Gangster. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so the Elegant Gangster was the second album that I put out after Freedom of Expression. Mm-hmm. And that album was more, okay, let me get a little more gangster on the mic, right? Because people like, oh, you're preaching too much, right? And this is where I'm talking about how people can, not saying that I have an issue with it, but it was like, yo, people want to hear that from you, Liz. They want to hear this. So it's like, okay, I can give that to you, but I have to remain elegant with what I do. So you're still going to get the lady at the end of the day. You're still going to get the elegant part of me with that. So that's where that came from. And I just wanted to kind of do something different than freedom of expression just to show another side.
I like that, because that project did show that there was another asset that you have to your style. Tell me about Best of Both Worlds from that track, from that album.
Best of Both Worlds was a song that I wrote maybe like 12 years ago. I never put it out, but as I was working on this album, I was like, this fits perfectly because several reasons. I'll give you a few though.
Sure.
One, I definitely wanted to have something that my kids can remember me by, where I spoke to them and I gave them a message, but also inspiring other people and other parents to keep remembering that at the end of the day, we have a responsibility to lead and teach the youth. That's what my job is first and foremost before anything else. So if I'm going to give a message, I have to do that in my music. And I want them to see, even though I'm doing my music, you are still a part of my life. You're important, and this message is important to anybody else that needs to hear it. So that's what that was about. Like I said, I wrote it a while back, and I was just like, I'm going to actually put this song out with this album.
And I appreciate that. See,
and I have a video for that too.
I gotta get it, so make sure I get it, please. I mean, we put one of your videos up on the website already, and when you talk about the many ladies that, when you talk about the many ladies, part of our website, we have a section called Women in the Industry, ran by my partner, Fatty's Place, who's an extension of Heritage Hip Hop, where he saw how, like, it's just the women only, because we feel that some women don't even get their due. You know what I'm saying? So we may put up Megan up in a Doja Cat, but we got to put up a Ladi Miz or somebody else who needs to be heard and seen as well. Because I think some of the ladies are spitting better than the men. A lot of guys ain't saying nothing anyway. So it is what it is. But back to you, because we don't want to deal with that right now. Elegant Gangster showed that you can not only preach, but you know how to hit the heart in the mind of the consumer. Because for the radio is more of like your mainstream type joint. You know what I'm saying? You took like an old school joint, you put some bop up into it. You know what I mean? As an artist, how do you serve your plate, which is your project? How do you make sure that you hit what you need, but you don't sacrifice you in hitting those needs?
Well, when I'm writing, again, I allow the beat to take me where I gotta go. And once let's say I get about 2 songs or 3 songs done, I listen to them and I say, okay, this is what I'm talking about on here. This is where I'm coming, the way I'm coming on this one. I think that I need to switch it up and bring something different. So that's how I, serve my plate with bringing different varieties, to the forefront. There was something else I was going to say. I just forgot it. I lost my train of thought. But
you about to say Lady Miz is the shit, go buy my music.
That's
what you're saying.
That too. All day.
That's right.
Yeah, but, I basically, as far as sacrificing, that's what it was, because I was like, it was a second part to that question. I'm never going to sacrifice myself. The only time that I would say that I switched it up is when I first got back. I was like, I'm only doing conscious music. That's it. I need to uplift my people. I need to be da-da-da-da-da. But then at the same time, I'm like, well, I don't listen to conscious music all day long either. And to be honest, like, I'm not really listening to that all day. I listen to it and I love it, but I'm not listening to it all day. So then I started feeling like, okay, I am putting myself in a box. The very one thing that I said that I wasn't going to do. So I have to allow myself to express myself in my music. It's just like poetry. Somebody's going to get up there. You can't tell a person how to speak or what to feel, or it's just like a comedian who's on the stage and they got to worry about, I can't say this because it's going to make somebody mad. Now you're taking away from, what they can do. They're there to make people laugh. They're not really there to offend people, even though sometimes that's what happens because, if the shoe fits, wear it, right? But at the end of the day, if you start telling people what they can and can't say, then there's no freedom of expression.
and there's no joy in expressing either, because you can't be yourself. Now, I want to ask you this, because your interview is turning out very amazing. I hope you're happy with it. But
I am.
There's something that I want to ask you. I'll talk to a pioneer when it comes to the early stages of hip hop, who's been rocking since the '70s, actually. And in our interview, he said that the thing that kills hip hop today is that people don't have a love for the culture because they only know one side of it, the MC, the MC, the MC. And now that the game has evolved technologically, you're not just an MC. How else do you partake in the culture?
Well, one, networking is a big part of, just, you can't just be like, okay, I'm a rap and then that's it. You know what I mean? No, you gotta get out. You gotta build relationships with other people in the industry. I find that to be that is like the number one thing for me, because I have to be honest, I learned, and I learned from some people too as well that I'm, close with, where if people don't like you, they ain't gonna listen or copy your music. And it's just the truth. So in this culture, besides writing music, building with other artists, I support other artists. Like I co-host on DJC Radio Global, right? So I have a 2 slots on every first 2 Thursdays of the month. It's called Talk That Talk. When I'm there, I like to shed the light on other independent artists, to the point where sometimes they be like, yo, you play your stuff. And I be like, yeah, I'm going to play my stuff. Not that I'm not going to advertise or promote me, but I also like to promote and give back to the other artists and show love to them too. So I like to build with people. So that's a whole nother aspect on, the whole culture. Building, having relationships, also, dealing with other artists. And this is not a part of that, but like I have a book. I don't know if you're. If
that's a part of it. That's a part of the culture. That's print. Let's talk about it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I have a book called Broken Then Healed. So that book was, again, it was me writing about my pain, a lot of the things that I went through, and I was like, at that time when I was writing my book, I had stopped doing the music, but I still needed to write. You know what I mean? It was like, damn, I'm not writing. I got to do something. So I said, well, let me go ahead and kind of just write about everything that I've been through. So, being an author now as well is also another part of the culture. I also have where I started YouTube channels where I'm teaching people how to build their credit, teaching people how to budget their money. Certain things that they think that we don't think about that we do. So my job is, at this point, how am I going to give back? Because at the end of the day, doing music, I love that, right? I love doing music. I'm going to always do it. I plan on, hopefully, starting my own label. Like, I got other plans. I don't have this, like, I'm just going to be a rapper type of mentality. You know what I mean? I got a list of things that I want to do. And I also make sure that I understand the business part. So understanding what some people don't understand. They don't understand the business part. They don't understand registering your music for BMI or Harry Fox or publishing. Like certain things where I want to create a label where I'm teaching the artist too. Because a lot of people have been jerked in this industry from other people, and then you hear a lot of people now on TV talk about, oh, we gonna get back, but some of them was the same ones jerking people. You know what I mean? So a lot of people have been taking artists for a ride and just think, if I give you a nice car and everybody knows you, then that's gonna be okay and you're gonna be fine with that. Meanwhile, you're broke. So no, for me, I want to put myself in a position to be able to help other people and help build other artists up in the game. So right now, I feel like I'm the first to test it out so that I can learn and see what I need to do while I'm doing it. But this is just the beginning for me. I got other stuff that I want to do.
Facts. And that's what I mean when I say fully embracing the culture. Because, I would love to do your radio show as well, because we have to embrace each other and build our culture one brick, one station at a time,
Yes.
and we must uplift each other. So congratulations and salute to you, and for you making music for your children. And you say you're married. May your marriage and your children's lives be abundant with the Most High's blessings, especially during this time, because we want everybody to make it and survive. So before we even close that out, you talked about the 2 songs people always ask you about. It would be very ignorant of us not to talk about the 2 songs so people can know what new music you have out, if they've already known about those albums, or if they're learning about you for the first time. We talked about some of your tracks. Let's talk about the 2 tracks that you say people bring up. Introduce those tracks for us.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm glad they bring it up because that's what I'm promoting right now.
Yeah, right.
But
right.
I'm just impressed that you went through the history of it to the beginning, which I appreciate so much. So the 2 joints that I have out right now, one of them is called Telling My Story, and the other one is called I'm Still Here. Now, Telling My Story, let me just tell you real quick, that was, okay, you know what, let me play a club joint, something that you could, I see myself bopping, driving, and blasting the music, you know what I mean, on a good day, like really vibing out to that. That's the type of feel it got. And not only that, the hook is exactly how I feel. When I say I'm not letting nobody tell my story, meaning I'm not allowing people to put limitations on what my purpose is. So someone may say, you can't do this because of that. You can't do that. You get a lot of naysayers that tell you why you can't do it. But I'm the type of person that's like, yo, I'm not going to let you tell my story. I'm going to just go get what's mine, stay on my grind, you know what I mean? And y'all going to figure out who I am pretty soon if you don't already know who I am. So, I mean, that's not the exact words, but when you hit a hook, that's what that means. So I had people say, oh, I don't know, you probably should do it. You left the music alone a long time ago. You coming back. It's changed. Well, so what? And guess what? I look at it like this. I came across the post that said, like, all these different people that are so successful that was dropped from labels, was told no several times, this and that, and they went ahead and started their own thing. And that's the mentality I got. Entrepreneur, boss shit. Listen, if you don't want to mess with me on that level, it's cool. I respect that. But that don't mean that my grind is going to stop. I'm going to get mine regardless. I don't have to wait on somebody to give it to me. I invest in myself. I don't look for people. Like, I know some people looking for a handout. I ain't looking for a handout. I'm willing to put up what I got to do to make it happen. You know what I mean? So that's the first thing for that. I had a lot of plans for that tour, meaning, I thought I was going to be out performing it, going here and there. I had the whole promotion thing. I studied that on how I was going to do that. And then COVID-19 happened. That put a stop to everything. So I've been in a house since then, but I've still been staying busy, like now, I've been having several interviews. I actually did a quarantine performance at home that I'm going to be putting out. It's at the crib, but so what? Everybody know we home. So it's just showing people like you don't have to stop. You could keep going. If you got goals, then you keep going. You know what I mean? You don't let anything get in your way. Not to go off track, but you still got to slow down because I think this COVID-19 is a wake-up call to let us all know, slow down, appreciate your loved ones, and put your priorities in order. Now, fast forward to I'm Still Here. That was done not too long ago as we were in the house quarantining. So with this whole COVID-19 being in the house now going out, shout out to DJ Russ. This DJ, he sent me a track that he made, and he was like, yo, Miz, I'm making this track. I hear you on it. He sent it to me. I wrote to it, recorded it. I sent it off to get mixed, got it back. I mastered it, and I shot the video right in my damn house. So that's what I'm trying to talk about. I got a whole song done, a whole video, and everything. And yeah, it may not be the top of the line thing, you know what I'm saying, where, shit coming out the sky. It's a COVID-19 video. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm telling y'all is I'm still here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm still working. Nothing ain't going to stop me. Nothing unless I die.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen anytime soon. And Lady Miz won't say it, but this is one of, if not the best interview she had. Heritage Hip Hop was glad to bring it to everybody out there. So before we close this out, we're going to have some fun. But first, give everybody your social media and how they can follow you.
Yes, so you can follow me on all those social medias, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Everything is Ladi Miz. I spell lady with an I, so that's LADIMIZ. I also have a website, which is www.ladimiz.com. I always tell people to go there first. That's where everything will always be. You can get all my music there, all my updates, whatever I'm doing is on that website. So if all fails, if social medias don't work no more, there's still a way for people to get my music going straight there to my website.
Salute to you, because that's what we teach at Heritage Hip Hop. We teach own your art and don't let somebody own you and your art. And we always tell people streaming is good, but purchase is better. If you really love the artist and you love the culture and you love what they do, you may not have it because of the times that we're in right now, but if you have that 99 cent to $1.30, whatever the single is or whatever the project is, if you really love the artist, make sure you spend your coins and show them that you're investing in them so they can produce more art, because at the end of the day, art is a resource, and we have to always give back into our resources, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Ladi Miz, it's been a pleasure, but now it's time to have some fun. Now you ready to kick up and have a little bit of fun with me?
Oh, Lord, what's the fun?
So now we're going to go into the rapid fire questions, which are not yes, no questions. I'm not going to ask you who's sexy, what you like to eat, or your favorite color or dress, because I don't care. What I'm really going to ask you about is about the art and you as an individual. So are you ready to go?
I think so. Let's hear these questions. I'm nervous now.
Here we go. What album describes your life? And it cannot be an album you made.
Oh, man. Oh, no, I got to go and look now. What album describes my life? That is a hard one.
Yeah. See why I call them rapid fire? Because it makes you sit down for a minute.
Yeah, it's making me think. Look, you don't even know what I'm over here doing right now. Like, I'm scrolling through my phone. I'm trying to think. I do not know off the top of my head. But you know what? I'm going to go with, and this is funny, I'm going to go with Faith.
Which one?
The First Lady. It's the First Lady.
Why that one?
Yes. Because I feel like a lot of the stuff that she talks about in there, I can really relate to. Almost everything. Not everything. Let me back that up, because there's some things that I didn't go through. But a lot of the pain and hurt and the fight and the struggle and the fact that she kept moving forward, you hear it in that album. When I play that album, I don't skip a song. And that's rare, so especially in today's time, you know what I mean? I don't skip not one song, and I feel every word. I listen, to be honest, and it's so funny because I know people be like, well, you rap, because most of my friends, they don't even listen to hip-hop like that. I'm going to keep it real. Most of them, the ones that I rock with now, I look like the gangster person around everybody else, you know what I'm saying? But they don't even really rock out to hip-hop, but like, I'm listening to other stuff. I'm listening to the old jams out because I like to know where the music came from. So as soon as I hear something or I hear a sample, and I'm like, oh, I know where they got that. I understand the art and the music and where it comes from, and makes me appreciate it so much more. But back to the question, yes, I'm going to go with Faith, the First Lady.
Okay, hey, that was a perfect answer to me, because like I said, it's about you, not the expectation of the answer, all right? So I'm going to ask you a theory question now. Why do you think so many men do not put women MCs in their top 5? Why is that so rare to you, do you think?
I think that's rare because they don't want to make it seem like a woman, bars, is better than a guy. Like, women are supposed to be, you know, in the background, like some people think when it comes to men. So maybe it'll make people feel like they're less of a man if a female is coming harder than them or better than them, even if it's not hard, you know. That's just it. Okay. That's what I think anyway.
Okay. Because even when you ask certain women who are your top 5, a lot of them don't say other women. A lot of them say men, and they leave the women out. And it is very fascinating to me. I want to ask you another question, which is very hip-hop related, is this. You are a music lover, I presume, because you grew up Rakim and Big Daddy Kane and stuff, right? What is the greatest remix of all time? Now, for everybody, I'll let you think while I put this.
Remake?
Nah, remix. I'm gonna let you think, and I'm gonna go to the audience and everybody listening. Remixes were songs that were redone. Either the artist brought out the song and they changed the beat, or they brought other people on the track to give new life to their existing track. So, Lady Miz, I ask you, what is the greatest remix of all time? We trying to bring some of this culture back. People don't do remixes too much anymore. So
no, they don't. And it's so crazy because like it's hard for me to even think about that now.
Okay.
Ooh. See, but I'm not even sure if that was a remix.
Well, what is it? Just bring it up. What is it?
It's and I gotta think it's the one with Diggy, Craig Mack, all of them on it.
Okay, Flavor in Your Ear remix. That is a remix. That's Flavor in Your Ear.
Okay, cool. Ding, I got Yes.
And you know, that's a lot of people's answer. That's a lot of people's answer. Flavor in Your Ear is a lot of people's favorite remix. About 90% of the people on Heritage Hip Hop bring up Flavor in Your Ear. So yes,
out of here. Are you serious?
on our platform, that is the remix of all remixes. So yes, so that's cool. That's real good. Continuing in the hip hop discussion, there was a time when having a guest star or guest MC, a feature, was a big deal. Because people used to have whole albums, right? And then if you got the song by the Juice Crew, right? Well, Cool G Rap and Big Daddy Kane was on the album. It was like, oh my God, that's great. You know what I'm saying? And back in the day, Scarface featuring Tupac. You was like, woo, it's special. Nowadays, it's so overdone that the feature means nothing. But when you did have features, somebody always shined. And there's been a time when somebody outshined the feature artist, the main artist. Who has the best guest 16 or feature 16 in hip-hop history to you? Who has stolen a song the best to you?
Whew. I didn't think my brain was going to be tested like that.
Hey, we a real interview shop. We do this because we love y'all artists.
Okay, let me see. I'm gonna have to go with Eminem.
Eminem. So everything he's on, he steals. He's the best out of everybody.
I think that M is hard. Like I'm still an M fan to the fullest. But you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I said, I love hip hop. I love artists. So I think that Eminem on the Jay-Z joint was dope. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my
answer. So you talking about Renegade? Here's the sidebar. That's not a Eminem feature. That was Eminem's song.
Oh, yeah?
Jay you can't tell by the different flows, but that's your answer, and that's cool. No, because the original track was Eminem and Royce the 5'9". They took Royce off and put Jay on it, and Jay put it on his album. But hey, salute to Jay-Z and Eminem. Salute to Jay-Z and Eminem. Renegade is a lot of people. That's another answer a lot of people give. So salute to Jay-Z and Eminem. Okay.
Okay.
Here's another.
All right. Well, Jay is one of my favorites. I can play that right now.
We got 3 more questions. All right. So now I'm not gonna do the 2-parter first. Let's do this. This is a little easy. A lot of people talk about the golden era of hip hop, right? I believe there's no such thing, because depending on the age that you are when you really grew into music to understand it and appreciate it, that would be your golden era. So the 70s was a golden era. The 80s was a golden era. The 90s was a golden era. Everybody has their era. What, in your opinion, is the golden era, and who were the people who made you fall in love with that era?
Oh, man. I already told you it was Rakim, Cool G Rap, Big Daddy King, Queen Latifah, MC Light, Salt and Pepper, Slick Rick, Dougie Fresh. Like, I could go on and on.
So the 80s to the early 90s, that's your golden era?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely for me. Yep.
So that's the African medallions and the ripped jeans and the big hair, the buttons.
KRS-One.
Afrocentric. You must learn. Okay. So the 80s is your era. I appreciate that. So now that we talked about your best era, what would be your dream collaboration? It could be dead or alive. And who would do the track, the beat? Go ahead.
Oh man, it has to be one person?
No, it's whatever you make it. This is your song.
Okay, so if I had a choice, I love Young M.A. To me, is one of the dopest female artists. Like, hands down, I think she's fire. But if I would pick her when you want somebody to come through with bars. You know what I mean? But when I want a song and I want to have fun, then I would pick Missy Elliott. And the reason I picked Missy, and I'm glad you asked me that, I picked Missy because Missy, to me, blew my mind because I love the fact that she was different and she stood outside the box of what everybody thought music needed to sound like. And she made people accept her, including myself, because when I first heard Missy, because I was so hip hop, like, you know what I mean? I'm used to like dudes on the corner rap, like going at it, right? So I hear Missy and I hear beat, who got the keys, and I see the video with the bag. I'm like, what the hell is this? Because I wasn't used to it. But I said, no, it was just weird. But the thing is, I was like, I like this though. You know what I mean? And then when I started really seeing like that she was a dope writer for other people, that she's so talented, that's honestly where I really want to be headed towards. I don't want to be so, oh, how much bars you got? Look, I write songs. I'm not even really into the freestyling and none of that. Like, I really just like to write. That's what I really like to do. I like to write songs and make music. So yeah, across the board, that's pretty much where I'm going if I had to pick the two. And as far as the producer, you know what? I'm gonna say this because it's crazy, because I probably wouldn't have never said this before, but since this whole versus thing been going on Instagram, I'm gonna have to go with the RZA.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, I'm still hip hop. That's still a part of me. I still want those raw beats, but I want to still have fun. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm going with the Riz.
Okay. Hey, everybody out there, I wasn't expecting that, and that was very enlightening. So thank you. Being that you brought it up, I got to ask you an extra question.
Okay.
Wow. Here's my extra question. Since you brought up the verses on Instagram, who would you like to battle, song for song? Not on some negative stuff, but just to have fun. Is there an artist you'd like to go track for track with? They could be independent or mainstream. It doesn't matter.
Let me think. I would say, I'm gonna say Cash on Abel is an independent artist, and the reason I'm saying him is because I'm a big fan of his. I just heard his latest release, and it was a message, but hip hop. But it touched my heart, and I love music that does that. You know what I mean? And it brought a feeling out of me where sometimes you don't get that in the music. So I'll pick Cash on Abel, dope artist.
Okay. So we go to the last question, and once again, before we ask this question, I'd like to thank you for being on Heritage Hip Hop, because Heritage Hip Hop is the voice of the culture, and we are happy that you was able to share your voice with us. So with that being said,
I appreciate it.
Thank you. And with that being said, here's the last question. Lady Miz, guess what? Unfortunately, our lives are temporal, and there's going to be a day where you're not going to be here anymore. And like I said, we're experiencing losses right now where people are falling to a disease, and it's very saddening. And it's going to be very sad when you're not here anymore, you know, because God gave you a light, and unfortunately the light has to dim and the world will carry on. But 2,000 years from now, guess what's going to happen? There's going to be an earthquake, and somebody's going to find my laptop, or somebody's going to find a phone, and they're going to plug it up to a generator, and it's going to have Tidal or Spotify on it, and they're going to find your music. And they're going to listen to you, and they're going to go, wow, look at what they used to do. My question, and final question of this interview is, what is the legacy that you left on the world that made it better because you did music?
Song-wise or just overall?
You can answer it any way you want. What is your legacy?
Well, I feel that my legacy is me, again, as I stated before, just being myself, doing what I love, putting out music that people can dance to, but music that makes people want to think, music that uplifts people. And that's it. If I had to choose a specific song, I would choose Brown Skin.
Which is a beautiful song. Beautiful song.
Thank you. Yes, I would choose that. My daughter's on there. I got a few joints with my daughter because she sings. That's actually, honestly, one of my favorite songs out of all my songs that I have. So that's the song that I would hope that they pick up, because still it's about uplifting the sisters who, how can I put it, have been put down a lot. I'll leave it like that.
And we live in a world where people will rather push you down than lift you up. But fortunately, we have Ladi Miz and we have other platforms, just like Heritage Hip Hop and others, who see the artist as a means of uplifting the people. And one day it will all make sense. And in the words of Donny Hathaway, one day we will all be free. So for everybody out there looking for freedom, become a woke prisoner. and break your chains. So everybody out there listening, this is Ladi Miz. I am Karev. We say peace, and we out.
Love and hair grease. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you once again for listening to the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. Ladi Miz is special, and I hope you got that from this interview. Like we said, she takes the motherly approach to hip-hop by giving you something that you can relate and dance to, but also giving you music with a message. Whether you're being a woke prisoner and staying awake to the ills and evils in society, you want to dance, or you want to give a message of love through loving your brown skin, Ladi Miz has music for you. So make sure you check her music out on all streaming platforms. Give her your ear, because she's worth the listen. Once again, this is Karev. We want to thank you for taking this journey with us today. If you would like to support Heritage Hip Hop, you can become a member of our website at www.heritagehiphop.com. Membership is free. You get access to our playlist and other music as well. If you'd like to buy some apparel, we have a store on www.storefrontier.com/Heritage Hip Hop. You'll see the many t-shirts and hoodies and apparel that we have there. We'd like to give a shout out to our partners. Our media assistant, Fatty's Place. That's at FADDYSPLACE. If you're looking for a social media advocate and someone who can help you with your social media, hit up Fatty's Place and they'll get you right. Also, we'd like to give a shout out to Diamonds Entertainment Llc, which gives another side of hip hop, which is about dressing, sports, and other manly things. They can be found on Instagram at DIEMENZ Entertainment Llc. We have a MC who's proficient in marketing, promotion, and placement. His name is Firejaws. You can get to him on Instagram at FIREJAWS. Remember, hip hop and being big is more about being seen and known rather than just heard and recognized. So if you want people to see you, hear you, and experience you, hit up Firejaws for that media, marketing, promotion, and placement that works well. Not only for you, but to build your team. Another person that's a part of the team, I'm the co-host of a great show led by Mr. Big A. And the Big A Show is on YouTube at AHDAYAR. That's at ADYAR on YouTube. The Big A Show is a wonderful platform, and if you want to see some crazy fun when it comes to hip-hop, tune into the Big A Show. This show, once again, is also sponsored by Transparent Credit Repair, the superheroes of the financial literacy world. If you're looking to fix your credit, please look up www.transparentcreditrepair.com on the internet, or you can call them at 862-250-5122. Tell them Heritage Hip Hop sent you, and you may get something special. But before we get out of here, COVID-19 is hitting us very hard. Make sure you're staying safe. Make sure you're loving the people that you are around. Because life is short, and it doesn't have to be shorter or harder than what it is. R.I.P. Fred the Godson and the many people that we've lost due to this disease and virus, and I pray that we all get through it soon. So to everybody out there listening, we say peace, and we out.